On this episode, we celebrate our 1 year anniversary on being on YouTube. That's right, folks. This celebrates our 1 year on being on YouTube. Bussanot's Garage is officially 1 year old, and I just want to say thank you to the viewers and subscribers that have joined and supported this channel. I'm letting it organically grow. I'm doing nothing to boost the viewership or the subscribership. I am letting you, the viewers, choose if this channel is worth watching, if you like the content, and stick with us to see what comes in the future. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting us. I'm not getting paid for it, not monetizing at this point, and that wasn't really the goal. The goal for this channel is to basically continue what I had started on Facebook on my own homepage, where I was basically just covering the restoration of the Mustang and just encouraging others that didn't have the big bucks like me, that they too can get from point A to point B with a classic car. Just still stick to my guns. If you're patient and you look and you don't get in a hurry. You can still find decent classic cars out there for a good price that's within your budget. It may take a while. Sometimes it takes a couple years, but stick to your guns. I'm telling you, you can find your dream car or something close to it that will fit the bill without spending high dollars. So anyways, with no further ado, so what I would like to do is I want to kick off this episode with a few project updates. So one of them that I want to cover is the 67's vacuum leak. As you know, we had a couple episodes on that where we were working on the carburetor. We replaced the aluminum spacer with a phenolic and ended up back with an aluminum spacer. We did a bunch of upgrades since then, just trying to troubleshoot it. Things that probably need to be done anyways. Brand new distributor that had points, condenser, the whole 9 yards. New fuel pump. Anyway, so just letting you know, she's been running now for about a month and a half, 2 months now on this new spacer. Perfect. Cold start, a little rough, doesn't have a choke, to be expected. Once she's running, no surging, no idle issues, she's running great. So my own personal recommendation, stay away from the composite or the phenolic spacers. Stick with the aluminum spacers. I don't think the hassle is worth the yeah, I don't think it's worth the hassle. The next project was the blend door. We started to replace the blend door on the North Sea Clipper. That's our 2010 Grand Marquis. And discovered that the part that we got was for a non-automatic setting, I guess, and so it didn't want to work properly. So we ended up putting the old one to the test. It seemed to pass to the computer test. So we put the old one back in. I surmised that a part of a harness got caught up in it. Well, we've had that old original blend door back in the dash now for almost 4 months, and I haven't had an issue with it. I have kicked it up for defrosters a couple times, got it up to high heat, no clicking. I know I said it originally, it did it a little bit in the first few minutes of testing. I haven't heard it click ever since, so blend door is working perfect. Another one is the roof console project on the 67. I did get a harness for the map lights ordered in, but they have not been installed yet. That's going to be done on a future episode. However, the roof console is hanging in there, no pun intended. The brackets is not falling down, or the weight's not taking it further away from the roof. It's hanging exactly the way you'd want it to, tight to the headliner. So People really like looking at that roof console, and I finally pointed out to them, it's not the first thing anybody sees. Who looks up when you look inside a car? But at a car show, but it looks great and they're fantastic. I love it. I'm glad I finally did it. And just wanted to provide an update on that. It has helped a couple people, and that was the whole point of that video too, right? So I'll get more into that later when we cover some of the popular videos. Now, one of the projects I've been working on is not actual physical project, but it is a video project, and that is the fourth and final installment of the 67 redo. This is when we completely tore it, blew it apart, redid everything on it as far as wiring, suspension, blah, 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 motor, trans, rear end. And we're down to the part that I'm trying to get time to finish is the final, getting it on the road and tuning it and, some of our first shows that we were able to attend. Unfortunately, that video project just keeps getting pushed back in lieu of others, but eventually we will get some time on that. It's just a lot of effort to do one with a lot of still shots because remember, again, I'll explain, we weren't rolling video at that time. So anyways, I know I still owe that to you guys, and I want to get that completed. Just know I am working on it. How about a project that's not one of mine? Delta, that is Richard Bacon's Cream and Teal 77 Ford F-150. It is like that close to being done. They have made tremendous progress on it. Richard and Jean has got the doors hung, the interior in, AC up and running. They're going to be getting exhaust on it here soon, but it's actually, they've been doing some test fires and running and setting with the AC so that we know the motor's doing good. They, I think, tidied up the brakes on it and most of the wiring harness. So it's just down to a few bits and pieces that he's waiting to come in, bumpers, I think the mounting kits and a few other things. But it is like, if I had to guess, it's 2 weeks from actually going out for a real test drive around their subdivision. So anyways, that's exciting news. How about Mason? Young Mason's transmission we pulled out of the helped. A bunch of us helped, but the garage crew helped pull the transmission out of his '98 GT convertible, and of course we had a problem with a torque converter, a wrong torque converter being put in. The bolt pattern didn't match the flywheel, but it's back in running fantastic. He's been driving it off and on. He did end up with a New Edge white convertible that, with the help of his grandfather, and that's sort of his daily driver now. And the '98 is going to become his play car. He's going to continue to work on that, fix some things that are still outstanding. But as far as the transmission work, Roush Transmission did a fantastic job. And last but not least, we have our other two projects, the '59 Cadillac Sedan DeVille with the factory 390 big block and Hydra-Matic automatic transmission. And then we have the Pontiac, the '54 Star Chief, which has the factory flathead straight 8 in it, and both cars are all original. So we really haven't moved much at all on the '54 because we've been trying to get back onto the '59. We've had other projects with the '67, and of course, real recently, my mom's 2009 Honda CRV, which we did collision repair on. But yeah, we are still planning to get back on the Caddy and try to move to the next few steps in the hopes of getting it up and running to test my TV rod adjustments. If that doesn't work, I have a second transmission and some phone calls to make, see if I can get a lift where I can tow the car and we can get that transmission swapped out and see if we can't make that thing go forward. So I would like to celebrate some of our most popular videos. The one that comes in at #1, which has become our popular and most viewed, is the blend door replacement, or not replaced, on the North Sea Clipper, our 2010 Grand Marquis. I just want to say that I appreciate those who have interacted with that. We had some good suggestions and pointers that come in from people who have done it several times in the past and are veterans at working on that. And I really appreciate you sharing your insight and suggestions and recommendations on how to proceed with some of the work that we did. It was different than what I chose to do, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm glad that you shared it because other viewers, I hope that you scroll through those comments to say, hey, you know what, between what I see on the video and what this person's suggesting, I can get in there and I can do it myself. I do know that it also helped a couple people that had that issue with their car. They weren't looking forward to it any more than I were, but after they saw the video and kind of got an idea of what I did to get in there, it encouraged them to also break into their dashboard and to tackle their blend door issues. Our second most popular video is the classic finds in Georgia. So that was the Tri-5 graveyard that we found in Georgia. And I don't say the town because I just want to be respectful of the owners. We never officially spoke, and I only shot what I could get from the road. I never trespassed. So as far as permissions, I didn't get any permission, but again, I didn't do anything that I couldn't see from public roads. So, but regardless, that video was our number 2, and I think people just love that kind of stuff when you can run across a graveyard full of cars, not only the Tri-5 Chevys, but other street rods, hot rods, pickup trucks, and 60s cars that are just in various shapes of condition. It's just awe-inspiring, and so that video comes in on our number 2. Our 54 Pontiac tour was number 3 on the most popular video list, where we covered what the 54 Pontiac was, the engine, and did a little tour of that project. Seemed that had a lot of interaction as well. I also had to make a correction, and I'll correct again in that series I had mentioned. And again, I had did some research, and I even heard it on Motor Trend that was the first of the straight 8. It actually was the last year of the straight 8. So I did make a correction to that, a follow-up video, but just in case you didn't see it, I did correct that. But we had a lot of interaction on that video anyways. People loved it. They loved the car, and they're looking forward to seeing what it looks like in the future. Another popular video that has gotten a lot of views and continues to gain traction is our More Classic Finds from Kentucky. That was our stumble onto a stash of 48 Chevy pickup trucks and Suburbans. That was just amazing to see that many in one. I think there was 10 altogether. I want to say there were 8 of the pickup trucks and Suburbans, and then there was a few other items there, different years vehicles and some chassis, but all pre-50s. And what a cool find that was. Again, nobody was around, and I viewed what I could view from public property right next door to it. And I think that's where people really are enjoying the videos, when you can get out there and find these older cars either sitting or actually out in the wild where they're driving, and you just run across them. And I think that's a very popular piece for people. So people really enjoyed it, and I thank you guys again for all the interaction on that video and comments, because I'll do more of those as we can find out here in the wild. So look forward to that. And finally, I will wrap up our popular video part of this episode with the roof console project on the 67. Again, a lot of views, a lot of interaction, and there was a couple people again that was encouraged, that was just like me, very I'll lack of a better term, scared to slice into the headliner like I was. And I'll admit it, I waited like 2 years before I finally got the nerve to just do it. And anyways, that video helped 2 or 3 people get into their car and to get their roof console project done. And I just want to thank Winter Machine and Aquaman. That was the handles of the 2 viewers. Thank you for interacting and keeping me up to date on your progress of your project. Aquaman had a bunch of great questions that some I could answer, some I couldn't. We found out that there were some differences between his 67 and my 67. Now, he had a fastback. Roof consoles shorter for a fastback. They mount differently. Fastbacks have front and rear mounts. The roof console in a coupe only has a front mount. We also found out he didn't have a pocket like I did. He had a windshield mounted rear view. So there was that. I didn't even take that in consideration because I have the pocket. But anyways, fantastic conversation, encouragement in both directions, and that just warmed my heart that he was able to get that up and running with the map light install. He found a better place where he thought to hook up the lights. It seemed to work just fine, and I say go for it. I mean, I'm also considering putting a second circuit in here so I don't tax the old one, because eventually there'll be air and a few other things that I'm going to be adding to the car. So hey, do what you got to do to cleanly get, your electrical, to keep that clean and non-taxed, and where it is not a risk of fire, because the last thing you want to do is burn your rig down after doing an upgrade. On this part of the episode, I just want to kind of bring up what was our largest viewer or most popular shorts that we posted. I try to post one every day. There's sometimes where I can't get to them, but every day throughout the week, I do try to post a short. And so we've got quite a bit up there online. If you haven't looked back to some of the older ones that have lower views, and actually some of the older ones have some high views, scroll through and take a look. We got a lot of fantastic content. But our number one short that come in with 25 plus views is of the blue 65 Cobra replica car that was at the Lakewood Ranch Main Street Ponies Under the Palms. And it is a gorgeous car. It is a Sarasota car. And of course, I call it blue, but it's probably seafoam blue or something like that. I can't remember. But tan interior, beautiful car. That is our number one short. And the second one, coming in just above 22,000 views, is the Nash Metropolitan, that little turquoise and white Nash that we had filmed at Joni Signori's cruise night at Culver's on Cattleman in Sarasota, is a fan favorite. A lot of interaction on that one. People just love that car. So I just want to thank everyone for, again, supporting that and interacting and commenting on the shorts and the videos, because that's the only way I'm going to know what content you, the viewer, enjoy watching, and I will be encouraged to post more of that. So what did we learn this year? What is most of our viewers' favorite cars? Well, I think the top one is muscle cars. The 60s muscle car and pony cars seem to be the fan favorite. And just happens to be Mustangs. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm biased and I'm attracting, the Mustang fans, but Mustangs seem to be the number one on this channel that people really enjoy watching. They comment the most on, love the Mustangs. Doesn't matter what year, actually. Anywhere from the vintage Mustang all the way to the new speed, new muscle. The fans love them. So thank you for your input on that, and we'll continue to cover that. What was the second most popular? Classic trucks. Classic trucks, and I think this both follows the trend of the most popular and higher priced vehicles out there right now because it's the most desired, and the classic trucks. So anything from street rods, but mainly I see the resto mods and the square body Fords and Chevys seem to be what people are drawn to when it comes to those. So that is one of the takeaways I have from this year as one of the fan favorites. So what seems to come into number three is interesting. It's the rare and it's the unique. Similar to like the Austin that we filmed down at Sarasota Cars and Coffee. The Nash Metro seems to show that, something unique about that just draws people in. Another one is the plain Jane cars, like the Pontiac four-door that we just released from the video at the Apollo Beach Roman Oldies cruise. People seem to really enjoy that. The plain Jane Trans Ams, not that people don't appreciate, the flashy street rods and the Bel Airs. It just seems like that draws some of our viewers. So the takeaway to me is muscle cars, classic trucks, and the rare and unique, and even just the modest plain Jane cars are just very, very popular. So that's it, our celebration of our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. I'm going to march into year number two to try to make it better and even more fun for everyone to watch. We'll try to kick up the project videos a notch. Although remember, I still work full time. I'm doing this on the side along with family and shows and whatever else I commit to. So be a little, graceful on sometimes if I don't make a video. I try to post. I was trying to find a time slot to post videos, and I kind of settled on Sunday evenings. And then this past one that we did for my mom's collision was turned into a larger video editing effort than I expected. So we almost ran a week late on that, but we got it posted. We'll try to keep the schedule, but sometimes things just get in the way. Sometimes I'm doing this on just a few minutes a night when I can get to it. So I'll try to definitely kick up the notch and set the bar higher and make it more interesting and more material in depth. And I hope that you guys continue to follow us, continue to support us, and we really, really appreciate you, the viewer, of taking the time out of your day to spend time on my channel and to enjoy the content. Just encourage to reach out, communicate with me, and tell me about your project cars. I'd love to hear about what you've got going on in your garage, like Aquaman and his, roof console, a couple others with their blend doors, a few others that talks about, their classic cars that they're working on. Let me know what you're working on over it. Guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. And as always, have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the streets.